Hi everyone, this is Linda from Lily Polyclay, and today we're going to be talking about some items that you can use to texture your clay. A couple of them that you have around your house, and I always talk about how there's things around your house that you can always use to work with clay. You don't have to go out and spend a ton of money right off the bat. So one of the first things I want to show you is how to make a leather effect with aluminum foil. So you're going to take a scrap of aluminum foil, you're going to crumple it up. Sorry, that's going to sound horrible on the microphone. And then just kind of uncrumple it. And depending on how much of an effect you want, it's how much you're going to crumple it up. And then you're going to lay it down on the clay. And then just take a roller, or you can just press down. You can use a glass rolling pin, a beer can, whatever. And then you should have this really cool crinkly effect. Now if you do this on clay, like a brown clay or a tan clay, you won't really have to do much to color it. Maybe just do like a wash with some black acrylic or something to really get into the crinkles. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake this along with the other things that we do today, and we'll talk about how to color tomorrow, how to add some depth with either paint or glazes or powders. So we'll show you that tomorrow. Set this aside, and that's it, your aluminum foil. Easy peasy. The next thing we're going to talk about is this one, just a little plastic knife. Now the key to this is the knife has to be serrated. So see how you have, I don't know if you can tell in the camera or not, but it has to be serrated. Okay, what I like about this is that you can use it to make a stitching effect. So if you're making a figurine that's supposed to look like a teddy bear, like a stitched teddy bear, you can use it. Or if you're doing clothing and you want stitches for like jeans or a jacket or something, you can use this. And here's how it works. The serrated side, you just put it on here. Look at that. Perfect seam. Love it, love it, love it. The other side you can use to make a crease. Again, you think about the folds in clothing. And if you wear clothing, you're always going to have wrinkles and folds. So you want to depict that in your work. So that works. And then this side. So when you're joining clay pieces, if you were making, let's say we were making a dinosaur or an alligator or dragon. So this makes a nice divot, which we can put some liquid clay in, and then we can join a scale. And that way we make sure the scales for your critter stick in there and stays in there. And honestly, if you push down enough and then use a blending tool or a tool to kind of blend in there, you might not even need the liquid clay. But I always like to put it in there just to be safe so all my pieces join. That's your knife. Just a simple plastic knife. Alright, so now we're going to get into tools that you can purchase for relatively cheap. So we're talking about texture. The most obvious and easiest thing to have are texture sheets like this. These can be, you can roll the clay out, place it on the sheet, and run it through your pasta machine or use an acrylic roller, and you'll get the impression on there. And I'll show you what this looks like in a minute, but I just want to show you what the sheets are. I have a lot of them because texture brings a project to life. So that's why I have a lot of them. And I have one that I just bought that I haven't even opened yet because I like the honeycomb on here. I thought that was cute. And I needed something with lace for clothing. And so this is by Makins. And I'll put a link on my website, on my blog, to show you, where you can get these on Amazon. But you can get them at your craft stores too. So this is a scale effect, and I've used this in the past for my mermaids. I really, really like the way this looks, especially when you add some shimmer to it, which we'll show you tomorrow how to do. So you're going to lay this on here, put it down. If you find your texture sheets are sticking, you can spritz them with a little bit of water, and then that'll work. Look at that. Love it. Now these are two-sided, so you get a slightly different effect depending on which way you put them on there. And I'll go ahead and do the other side. I think we did it this way, so you can see the difference between the sides. So yeah, it is different. This looks more like fish scales to me. They both do, just different types. So I'll set this aside. And that's your texture sheets. The next set of tools I really like are the etch and the pearl tools by Sculpey. So you see it has a little rounded edge here. That's your pearl. And then this is your etch. Now, the etch is quite simply like a needle tool, but it's finer, so if you use the smallest one, you could even use it to sign your name. I don't know if you can see that or not. So what the pearl tool does is, I'm going to take another piece of clay. I'll use the largest one here. So I pushed it in there. There's clay in there now, and I'm going to come back here and I'm going to push it down. So now you've got this kind of raised, and if the clay is thicker, it has more of a rounded pearl-like effect. So now that's the largest one, and there's different techniques you can use with this. If you take the smaller one and you put that on top of here, you almost get like a rivet look. If you do different colors though, it can make some really cool effects on jewelry and stuff like that too. I've done before. And there's some tutorials for these tools, especially for different techniques and different projects. The other thing you can do is if you just poke the hole on here, it even looks like another kind of, to me it looks like hardware, so I use these tools a lot for my steampunk things. Any steampunk projects, I use these to make different metallic effects. What you also see a lot of artists do with these, and which I've used them for, is, so imagine this is the head of like a critter or a monster, dinosaur or whatever. It's really good to go in and make kind of a scaly like texture. So that's the largest or the medium one. And then you go in with the larger one. And then the smaller one. So you can already kind of imagine the back of a monster or a dinosaur or something, And it looks really cool when you color it. If you put a wash in there and get the darks in there and then the highlights on the tops, you can get a really cool effect with that. So, lots to do with that one. So last but not least, this is called a wire texture ceramics tool. a wire texture ceramics tool, and you can get them with different pin numbers. You can get them with 3, 5, I think 7, and this one's more than 7, but it's extra fine, and I'm not going to count how many there are on there because my eyes aren't that good. So here we go. So what this is good for is making fur. This is like 100% what I use for all my like dog figurines and cat figurines if they are a short-haired fur texture. I don't know if you can see this or not. So it works really nicely for that effect. And for me, it's a 2-for-1 tool because this right here is an excellent texture. You roll that on there, and I've used it for sweaters, scarves, whatever. It's really, really cool. So that's that. Those are my tools, my top 5. There's a lot out there, but I hope this is a good start for you. We'll bake these up and we'll explore different coloring options for them. How to really bring out the texture in them. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day and play with clay.